Hello. Hello, hello. Are we live? Let's check a few places. We are live, but we are not live on the embedding, which is fine.
I don't see it live on YouTube yet.
It says YouTube live, but not maybe on your channel or the thing that you set up. Can you just go to Uno Platform YouTube?
I am on Uno platform YouTube.
And you don't see it?
Nope. Well, I mean, I see it, but I don't see it live.
I see it. Yeah, I think we're live.
It says waiting for Uno platform on the YouTube channel.
No, I think we are good. I see it on my side.
All right, let's go for it.
All right, let me try one more time on my phone just to make sure I'm not randomly seeing things. One more time on
we are here, right?
phone. Yeah, there you go. We are live. We are live, and let's check a few more endpoints. And I don't think we are live quite on dev, so it might have to do with the exact YouTube endpoint that you had set up versus where we are live. Can you send a quick email out to them just so they grab maybe the latest, like where we are live on YouTube, and then they can embed? All right, all right. So Matt, shall we roll?
Let's roll.
Let's roll. All right, people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us from. Thank you for being here. We are checking all the systems and trying to be live at all the places because we should be live on YouTube, X, and LinkedIn. But if you are not seeing it, you maybe do a refresh, and we are trying to push the simulcast to all of the places. But let's roll. Welcome, everyone. This is a very special and fun live stream because we are Uno Platform. Let's do intros here. Matt and me both work at Uno Platform. I am developer relations. I'm Sam. And Matt?
And I am the marketing and content manager at Uno.
Matt makes everything look good. Everything that we do look good. Okay, all right. So let's get in here. I am going to move some of my windows around so I can share my screen. All right, let's see. Yep. So I am sharing screen here. So let's get rolling. So first up, what are we doing and why are we here? Well, we are Uno Platform. We take your .NET apps cross-platform to all the places, for web, desktop, mobile, embedded systems, you name it. We got you covered on all of the places with .NET, with a lot of design and AI tools. So we are trying to make sure you, the developer, is as productive as you can be. Now, with that in mind, we want more of you to try things out and perhaps have fun building what you're doing, but also have a chance to win some prizes. So we are delighted to partner up with the folks over at Dev2. That is the vibrant developer community, which all of you love. Many of you might be tuning in from the dev channels, which is where we are embedded. So hello to all of you. Now, we just launched a thing that we are super pumped about. This is the Dev2 Uno Platform Challenge. And we're calling this the AI Challenge for cross-platform apps. It's just a chance for you to win some big prizes. Show us your creativity. So this is where you should be seeing us if we have everything wired up. But let's dive into the challenge here just a little bit here. So this is our first time throwing up a challenge like this, and we are super excited to do this with Dev2 folks here. So what we have here is a challenge that runs, roughly 2 or so weeks, end of November. So what, November 19th till December 7th, right? So, roughly 2.5 to 3 weeks is a chance for you all to, win some big prizes. Now, while I keep on chatting, Matt, how are we doing? Are we able to get that YouTube thing embedded on Dev? Are we working on it? And you're on mute.
Sorry, not used to it. We are working on it, and the email sent, so we should be live on the FTO shortly.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you. And let me know once you see us embedded. I will kind of re-welcome folks one more time. Well, I'm trying to think here. Should we give them a little bit of time?
Yeah, I just got confirmation. I just got confirmation. There's making the switch, so momentarily we'll be live on DevTO.
Okay. So let's maybe hang for just a minute. Let people from DevTO come on, and then we can talk through the challenge again, talk through everything that we can do to help people win these amazing prizes.
We are live on DevTO, so we can go right into it, Sam.
Okay, I am going to do a refresh on my side, and let's see. Yeah, so looks like we are live on all the places: YouTube, X, LinkedIn, and most importantly, DevTO. So let's roll. So like I was saying, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this special live stream. This is informal. This is fun. We are just here to share some tips and tricks so you could be in to win some big prizes. So let's do intros again, because I think we started a little bit earlier, and some folks may have missed it. So we are Uno Platform, and Matt and me are here. I am Sam. I am the old, boring DevRel guy. And Matt, go ahead, introduce yourself one more time, please.
I'm Matt, and I'm on the marketing content side of Uno, making everything look good.
Absolutely. Yeah. So as we go on, you're going to notice, how much Matt is young and I'm old. Like, he is the risk taker. He's got, shiny UI. Well, I am more of a conservative. Like, let's do things ourselves first and then let AI take over. Matt is like, no, AI from the get-go. Let's have a little fun here. So we are Uno Platform. We take your .NET apps cross-platform, to all the places. So I will, dive a little bit more into, what the stack is and how we build things. But it's, super fun. Modern .NET just runs everywhere. So slim, so easy to get started. And we want to make sure you folks are having some fun building cross-platform apps with .NET. We go to, mobile, iOS and Android. That's given. We go to web through WebAssembly, and we go to desktop and embedded, anything Windows, Mac OS, Linux, you name it, all from a single shared code base. Now, while we're doing this, we thought we would throw in and incentivize all of you to win some prizes. So we are delighted to offer up our first challenge with Dev2 folks. I know Dev is a huge developer community. So many developers across so many tech stacks. You spend time, you learn from each other, and Dev is such a vibrant community. We are there, quite a bit as well. But this is our first, challenge with Dev. So welcome to the AI Challenge for cross-platform apps. There are $3,000 in prizes to win. And in the stateside, Thanksgiving is coming up next week, and we have holidays and Christmas coming up. So who couldn't use a little bit more cash, right? So let's have a little fun. So this is a challenge that's going to run November 19th till December 7th. So we are live, for already 2 days in now. So roughly 2.5 to 3 weeks is what you got to show us what you can build with Uno platform and some AI tools and some design tools. So here is the challenge. Go take a look at it. And it is a challenge which asks you to, push some boundaries of your own creativity. Show us what you can really create. So there are 3 prompts, 3 categories of prizes, 3 types of things you can build that we're looking for. So let's bump up the fonts here a little bit. First thing is wow factor. So really, it doesn't need to be a full-blown app, because we understand things take time to be built up with all the functionality. Like, show us one screen, right? We were trying to be, fun and creative here ourselves. So we are saying, what if you were to build like a coffee shop app, like Starbucks or your local coffee place, or your local bakery, whatever it is that fancies your imagination. Start with that and get some inspiration from apps that are already out there. Can you make a home screen which is really nice and fancy and inviting to people? Nice imagery, lists, buttons, scrolling, some animations, whatever you can do. So that's your prompt number 1. First category of prize, and again, build up a screen, show us what you have. Then we get into some things that we do really well, and that is design with some additional tooling and help. So Uno platform, it's an open source stack. I will dive all into it. So we have an hour. So essentially we'll go from 0 to full-blown app UI very quickly, but we will start slow. So Matt and me are essentially here to just showcase like how you can do this thing with us, and it's so easy to get started. So once you do start up an Uno platform app, you have some additional tooling help, and that's through Uno Platform Studio. Easy to sign up, and then you get to see all of the tooling that we have built up. A big part of it is hot design. .NET apps traditionally, have had some design surfaces, but it has not come through from the past, and modern .NET apps definitely need that. So we tossed around ideas as to how we wanted to do it, and it's best to kind of marry design time and runtime together, so you don't have that disconnect, and your inner dev loop of where you make a quick change in your app and you want to see that app running on your simulator or on the web browser or on desktop. That needs to be really quick. So what if you could edit and design the app while your app was running, so you have the full data context, your app doesn't stop running? So that is hot design for us, and we would love for you folks to experience hot design and also show us what you can do with it. So you can build up UI on the fly, and essentially we have the tech that keeps your IDE and your design surface in sync. So it's a beautiful story. And now we have some AI in it. So there's a custom agent in there that can do things. It can see your app, it can interact with your app, so it makes things really fun. So again, pick your favorite theme. What the app is, we don't care. Just show us your creativity. And then we get into the other challenge, which is AI acceleration. This is where you truly get to use some of our AI tools. We'll talk about Model Context Protocol, MCP servers. They are very popular because it gives, proper contextual grounded tools for your AI agents to be a little bit more, context aware. Because, we all know AI is great until it starts to maybe hallucinate a little bit. So we want less of that, and we want more of productivity. So we got, almost, 10 or so MCP servers, which bring all types of context up to your AI agents, and you can have their AI agents do things on your app. Anytime you need to look up documentation, don't go to the website. All of it is, offered up to your IDE itself. If you want to make a change in your app, if you want to see, what happens if I click on this button on my app, can you show me what happens when I type in text? Our MCPs can do all of that. So, bring whatever data is of, fun to you, and just let's wire up some UI and use the AI tools to build some amazing apps. So Matt, am I saying anything about the challenges themselves?
No, I think you covered it all, Sam. I think
right.
people are excited to get into it.
Okay, so how about we bump up the excitement here? I'm looking at our tooling here. We can do a little bit of background music as we get into some code. Shall we do that? Let's do daydreaming. Yeah, just a little bit of background music to keep us going. All right, folks. So let's get in. Let's get into how you can participate in this challenge, and you can have as many submissions as you want to increase your chances of winning. And there are prizes to be won across all three of these categories, right? So it doesn't hurt to do more. So let's take a look as to how you can get started. Maybe I will lower the music volume just a tad more, as it's not in the way. There you go. Okay, so let's get in. So first thing is, we are asking you folks to build apps with Uno Platform. What is it? I am not going to pull up anything fancy. Just let's look at the website itself, because I think we tried doing a good job telling the story, what it is. So this is building cross-platform apps visually and with AI from a single code base. So let's start with Uno Platform itself. So this is the core of the platform. So what you see here is, this is .NET, which is open source. It's modular, it's cross-platform, works everywhere, performance is great. And we take you to all of these places, right? So iOS and Android for mobile, WebAssembly, and Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. You're writing .NET code, straight up C# and XAML, but then you have some choices. You can bring in a whole bunch of things or just start bare bones, right? So at the very basic, you get a choice of rendering mechanism. This is like what renders the app UI that you folks are building. So you could roll with native UI, which is great for iOS and Android, but you could also want to make your app look the same across all platforms, right? So that's where we recommend starting with Skia. This is Skia Sharp, so it's a great unified rendering engine. Performance is actually phenomenal compared to native. So that's our default, but you can change it back to native if you want. And then single code base, you have a choice of markup, XAML or C#. You can bring in a lot of different toolkits and themes and tooling, all of that stuff. So it is very easy to get started. So let's look at that first. So we give you some tools to get going first. So I know Matt is waiting to jump into AI. I'm the slow guy, okay, hold on. Let's just, get our things first, get set up first, so we can start. So I will start with some basic tooling. We have a command line tool called UnoCheck. So cross-platform development is, it's got some fundamental challenges. You depend on SDKs from iOS and Android and Windows and Mac. So this one takes care of all of that. So it's one place to get started. Then we have some beautiful solution templates for you folks to get started with. And what you get at the end of it is a true single project. And yes, now you have AI. So, anything that I'm showing you here to get started is if you wanted to do it manually. You could go up to an AI agent and say, build me an Uno app, and it'll do it for you. Again, just being the old guy, I like having the control to pick what I'm getting into. So how do you get started? Let's get into that first, and then we'll talk about Uno Platform Studio, which is all of the fancy tooling on top of it. So first up is let's look at the docs. We spend a lot of time on the docs, making sure your experiences are good. So if you head out to right here, platform.uno, that's where you get started, and you hit the docs button. And there's a lot, obviously, in the docs to get in, but start small. So start with the getting started guide here, and we do a setup. The setup essentially says, where are you? What IDE are you using? So here's the benefit, or the nice thing about modern .NET cross-platform. The choice of your dev machine doesn't matter. The choice of your IDE doesn't matter. So tell us where you are and get started that way. So here is Visual Studio. If you are on Windows, here's how you get started. We have extensions for Visual Studio Code. If you are on Rider on JetBrains, that's great. Or if you are any of the AI-based IDEs like Claude or Cursor, that's great too. So pick your place to start, and that's how you roll. So I happen to be on a Mac today. I will show you the Windows side just a little bit as well. But if you were on a Mac like me, here's how I get started with VS Code. So again, you get a few choice of tabs here. Let's bump up the fonts here a little bit more. So here is where we are saying, just go run this tool, and it's going to do all the things for you. So no 1,000 things to get started, just that one tool. It's going to get you the SDK. It's going to get you all the things that you need. So let's actually copy this. I already have this tool, and I am going to run this really quick in my terminal. And all of this that we're doing, it's all live. So anything that happens on this live stream, I was telling Matt, is the only thing that can happen, because we are doing AI. Things are non-deterministic by nature. Not this. This is tooling. This is standard stuff. So you can see like UnoCheck fires off and it says, hey, I'm going to do some checks on the things, because UnoCheck is not a one-time thing that you just do at the very start. Anytime iOS sends out an update or there's an Android SDK update, you can come back and just run UnoCheck again. Excuse me, and it's going to re-get all the tools that you need. And you can see it's doing checkups on my Android and my OpenJDK and my .NET SDKs, and it's saying, hey, I can get you some more new templates. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. I know I have the tools. It's saying, hey, I also see a new SDK for Uno. And you can choose. And again, if you open up a project, it's going to ask you for the same things. But again, if you know that you have all the things, you can say, no, I will finish things myself. So you can see like it went through. And ideally, you want everything to be green because you have the latest SDKs. You have all of the latest bits, Android, iOS SDKs, and Uno SDKs, and that's how you get started, right? You can also get started very easily from a command line, or you can get started from any of the developer IDEs. So if you are on a command line, here's what we can do. So if you head out to new.platform.uno, we love to dog food with our own things. So this is actually the URL, new.platform.uno. What you're seeing here is essentially a template that we give you if you were to start up a new app from Visual Studio or other places. But this is just running as a WebAssembly app written with Uno, and just lets you see all the things that you can do to start up a new app. So once you do, you get a few things here. Excuse me. Actually, give me just 1 second. I don't want to cough in your ears. Okay, I'm back. So what you see here is essentially a wizard that says, tell us what you want in your app, right? So you can start blank, or you can start with any of the presets, which has most of the common things in place. This is where you get to choose your runtime, .NET 9 as of last November, .NET 10 as of this November, because every November we get a new .NET. Platforms, so this essentially chooses all the places where your app can be, iOS, Android, WebAssembly, desktop, Windows apps, and so on. Presentation, so this is the design patterns that you choose, right? You can be choosing MVVM, which works really well traditionally with C# and XAML code, or you can be on the cutting edge and you can choose MVU, especially if you're coming from like a React or Flutter or Blazor. You might be more used to the MVU, slightly tighter in a loop in terms of MVVM, but I am old. I am squarely in the MVVM camp. That works for me. So again, your choice. Same with markup, your choice of XAML and C#. Again, there are tools that help write all of this for you. You can start with Material or Fluent themes or bring in your own design systems. You can start with any of these extensions, dependency injection, localization, navigation, logging features. So if you want to make it a PWA, you can. If you want to bring in some .NET MAUI UI, you can. So lots of options here. And again, this is the key, like the Skia versus native rendering choice. You can choose your own authentication. You can choose your own application name. You can choose your UI test or your unit tests, and you can choose some CI/CD pipelines. So we think through all of this, right? And at the end of it, when you hit create, what you get is one big .NET command, right? So you take this and you run this on your .NET command line terminal or PowerShell, and it creates a new app. If you did this wizard in Visual Studio on Windows, then we don't need to ask for running the command line again. We can just create the app for you right there, right? But just kind of showing you that this is where you can copy the command line and just do this whole thing. Also, once you have the SDKs installed, what you see here is, if I go back to my terminal, if I do .NET new, show me a list of all the things. These are essentially all the templates that I have installed on my machine. So these are the Uno platform templates, right? So you get a Uno platform app, Uno platform library, UI test. So you can start right there. So let's actually start with just a very basic hello world example, which is nothing but just text. So I'm going to go into a folder here where I keep stuff, and let's make a new folder. Let's just call it Uno dev, because we are talking about the dev challenge here, right? So let's go into that folder just to kind of show you the bare bones experience here. So we are in the folder now. So now I can do .NET new Uno app. Right at this point, I have not chosen anything. This is literally a blank template. It doesn't do anything, but it's the starting point, right? So it says, "Yep, I'm done with your app." So now I can do code dot to pull up the app in my chosen IDE. This happens to be Visual Studio or VS Code in my case. So I have it VS Code in my path. So I pull this up. And notice like how it's already saying like, hey, you could have chosen a newer version of the SDK. I'm just saying, yeah, that's fine. I'm going to stick to this one for now. So again, it's all your choice, and it's either in the terminal or in the IDE. So what do you get when you create an empty Hello World Uno project? Well, first up, couple of things. There's a global JSON here, which is pinning your Uno SDK to a specific version, and a lot of your things depend on that SDK, bindings with SDKs for iOS, Android, and Windows, and so on. And this folder here is your entire code base, one solution, couple of projects for different platform types. In here is a CS proj. So this is a .NET, essentially a configuration file that says, here are the things your app needs. And you can see like I only chose Skia because I didn't have any other choices in here. So this Uno features is essentially bringing down the configuration choices that you selected from the SDK. Now this one here is nice. This is what we call TFM, Target Frameworks. So this is declaring all the places where my app can run. So iOS and Android, and the .NET 10 is the runtime. So browser, WASM, or desktop, right? So pretty easy stuff. And then I have my shared assets here, my icons, my splash screens, fonts, all of those live in there, and they're shared across platforms. These are platform-specific folders, so iOS, Android, WebAssembly. So if you want to do something that is platform-specific, you might want to go in there. And you do sometimes, like you have to, like Android manifest files live in there, but they're already wired up for you. iOS delegates live in there, but if you have permissions that need to go in your info plist, or keychain or iCloud things that need to go into entitlements.plist, so those go in there. But ideally, you want to stay out of those platform-specific things and do cross-platform as much as possible. So things start out here in AppXAML. This is where we wire up any styles you might have. And then main page.xaml is the first view of your app. And this one starts out with almost nothing. It just says text block. It just has one label that says hello Uno platform, right? So let's run this. So when I am in VS Code, it is essentially reading those target frameworks, and we'll show you the experience maybe on Cursor or Visual Studio or other IDEs, but it's about the same. So you choose essentially where your app runs. I'm going to start with desktop here. We also drop in a few things here in VS Code. So you have some launch settings, and those come up when you're trying to debug here. So again, see mobile, WebAssembly, desktop. So let's do desktop here, and let's go run our project. And meanwhile, Matt is getting bored. Like, why are you doing this old school stuff? Like, we got AI now. So yeah, we'll do AI. Just give us a minute. So this is Hello World, right? The same exact app runs on WebAssembly, iOS, Android, desktop, and all the places. We get the Uno Hello Platform thing here. But a couple of more things to note here. And this is really nice. That keeps you productive. We got some tooling that comes from Uno Platform Studio that's available to you for any Uno Platform app. And that really lights up a lot of things. So why don't we stop on this app? Because I'll come back and add more things to this Hello World app. But let me show you a little bit of what established apps look like. So let's start with a very basic app here. This is a counter app. We have lots and lots of samples, by the way. This one here is a super simple counter app, and I can run this on iOS. Let's run this on desktop here again, because that's the quickest one. iOS or Android, you need to wait for the simulator to come up. So let's go run this, and I will show you some of the platform-specific tooling that I was talking about. And while this app is coming up, it's actually already up and running, but let's go back to the web for a second. This is what I'm talking about. So we were on Uno Platform, which is the open source stack that I told you. This is Uno Platform Studio. This is us trying to supercharge your productivity with all the tools that you need, and now it's AI included. So your choice of IDE, some big pieces in there. First thing is hot design. So this is your design surface while your app is running. And that is paired very closely with hot reloads. So anytime you make a change in the design surface, your IDE picks it up, and the other way around between the IDE and the design surface. And in there is now also an AI agent called Hot Design Agent that has essentially AI that has eyes and hands, and it can do things and interact with your app, brings the context of what your app is running with. And it also has access to all of the MCP servers, which bring the context of what your app is and the fact that it's an Uno platform app, all the docs, everything. And then we also have design to code. So if you folks are fortunate enough to work with a designer, they might be in Figma, and they might create beautiful, engaging designs, but then you have to bring things over manually, which is never fun, right? So our Figma plugin essentially generates well-structured XAML and C# out of the designs, pixel perfect, so you have a good starting point, and then you can keep on working on that. So let's go back to VS Code here and my running app. So this is the Uno Counter app. Nothing special going on here. I think I had changed up my fonts. So that looks way too big, but you get the idea. I can change up the counter, and I can change up how the counter increments, and then it increments by that amount. So while this app is running, you can see that I have this little toolbox here, and it says Hot Reload says, hey, I see that it's an Uno platform app. I'm connected. So I hit this one little fire icon, and this is where things change, because now all of a sudden I am in, let's not zoom in so much. I am in a design surface. So my app is still running. Nothing has changed, but now I'm in a design mode with the app kind of suspended. So in here is a little toolbox, right? So let's go into design mode, and you can see that I can toggle between light mode and dark mode. So this is great for accessibility. Yes, you can do checks on your devices, but this is just a quick and easy check. I can check how my app looks like, perhaps on a phone. Perhaps on a wider tablet or a desktop, or whatever is the form factor. I can completely zoom in and out, and this is really nice as I'm testing my app. Or I can say auto fit, so what I'm seeing on screen always fits. Now in here on the left is a toolbox, so all the UI and all of your third-party libraries as well, they all live here. You can do drag and drop. Here is an element tree visually, like all of the things that your app has. So I have a main page, inside of it the stack panel, and a couple of things. And once I select individual UI elements, then I have my properties window, which lets me really see and fine tune qualities about my app. So I think I'll go back in here and drop down the fonts here a little bit, because they are way too big. So let's make them 20, and I can multi-select, so you can see like it changed the fonts for everything all together. So Hot Reload picks it up, and it's like right there. So this is all the stuff, and then you can also switch to design, and this is the whole Hot Design element side of it. But let's come back to this in just a second, right? Because now we're getting into AI. So a couple of more things here. Let's switch back to one more app, because this is the one that we love showing off. It's called Chefs, and everything that I'm showing you, it's all open source. You can start with the Uno platform docs, and we have links to all of it. Just trying to show you that how productive you can be when your app is running. So this one is a little bit full blown. It's not Hello World. It's got lots of views, lots of data, and let's switch up here. Matt, as I am talking away, are there any questions from the chat room that I can help answer? So you are in charge of the Q&A. If you see anything, shout it out. All right.
I will do.
All right. So this one here, let's run this on desktop again. And let's make sure I have my target set up right. Yep, I'm on desktop. So let's go run this really quick. Looking at my time here, we are just about halfway done here. So I'm again showing you the basics of how you can get started, and then we'll get into some really fun AI things. And Matt is the boss here. He's been playing around and doing amazing things with AI. Anyways, so this is the Chefs app, again, open source code. You can look around. I'm going to just skip past a couple of things here. So now you see the app, and it's a busy app. It's all on desktop, and it looks slightly different on mobile, but you will notice that my Hot Design thing is right here, and I can go into Hot Design, And now you can really see the benefits of the hot design surface area. So I can bring in all the tools, drop them in, either like in the middle, which we call the canvas, or if you know exactly where in the tree you want to drop it, then you can drop it right in the visual tree itself. And you can choose a single element, or you can choose multiple elements. What is really nice that I always like showing out is when I choose something that is a more complicated UI element that has some data binding to it, you're not losing track of all of it this because your app is still running. So I can this one here is a feed view essentially. So you can see like in the tree, like it's saying, hey, this is a feed view that comes from in an auto layout, and that's in a scroll viewer. But what if I wanted to go in here and change one or two things? So let's go into changing the value template. Oh, no, sorry, I got too far ahead. So what I'm trying to say here is you can choose individual things, and for some reason I cannot right click to show you. Hold on, let's try this on my laptop. I cannot right click, because I was trying to show you the value template where you can actually really see individual items and the template that drives the look and feel of each item, and then you can just tweak that template, and then that template changes it for everything. So you kind of see it all in one place. I'll show you that in another app perhaps. But this one here, same things. I can toggle the night theme and dark theme just like that, and I can do more things with AI. And I can see my hot reload is still connected. So whatever changes that I make here, let me show you that really quick here. So this one's like a tab item here. If I change up that to call it like faves, I see the change instantaneously in there. But if I go back to my IDE and I have to look around and find where it was, oh, it's actually right here in the main page. I had those pages open. You can see like the content has already updated. And what is really nice is, sometimes when you have a really complex app and you're, several clicks into a page where you're trying to change something, it's nice to be able to do this. So we also have like a interactive mode. So this is where the app is still running and you were in design mode, but you kind of stepped away and said, I want to click on things. I want to pinch and zoom as if the user is, doing it. So I can, tap on here, and now I'm inside of an element. Who doesn't like avocado toast? I can see all the recipes. And let's say your customer says, I want to change something about this little chart in here. So I can now go back into that. I can, select that, and now I see the common properties. I can change up, the brush color. The protein one here, let's just make it what's a good color? Let's make it this coral thing, right? So now you can see like this one becomes orange, and if I go back to my IDE, that's the recipe details page, and the protein brush is now coral, right? So at any point, whatever changes you make in the IDE shows up in Hot Design, and Hot Design shows up in IDE. And again, once you're done, you click that one button, and your app is back to running, right? So you get the idea here. So this is just the basics. So Matt, any other things to point out before we get into AI?
No, Sam. Let's give the people what they want.
Yeah, let's get into AI. Yeah, we have gotten through the basics.
We need
right?
to go through it first. You can't.
Exactly. Yeah, and this is how you can start, or again, you can ask AI to start things up for you. Let me take you into like an app which I was just playing around with, and I'm sure like Matt has things that he's been playing around, and he can show you more things. So here is just a very simple Hello World app, right? And I want to show you a couple of things here. So you have a choice of what to use. So let's go back in here. So in the docs, I want to show you a couple of things you can get started with. So up here, you can start with Claude if that's your desktop or IDE of choice. You can start with Codex. You can start with GitHub Copilot CLI. You can start with Cursor. So the choice of AI and the choice of the agentic modes, the choice of your IDE doesn't matter anymore. So pick the one that's working right for you. So I'm already in VS Code, which has GitHub Copilot built in. So that's where I am starting from. But again, you start wherever you want. So once I have an Uno Platform app running, and the SDK will wire things up for you, so I can hit Command-Shift-I or whatever is the shortcut for you to open up the GitHub Copilot chat, right? So this is where I am now doing things with AI. And it starts out with agent mode. You can switch back to ask mode or plan mode if you want. But agent mode is the most comfortable one, because you're letting go of the reins a little bit. You're letting AI take the first stab and do things for you. You can choose which model that you want to use. So I find the Claude, Sonnet, or the Haiku models to be really good at deep thinking, but then the GPT ones are really fast. So choose the ones that work for you, or you can leave it on auto, and then the Copilot or Cursor or Claude, they're going to figure out whichever model is working the best for you. So what are we trying to show you with AI? First up is a whole bunch of MCP servers. Let's go back in here. So we have it right here in Uno Platform Studio, MCP servers. We have quite a few of them. So few are just running remotely, because they are supposed to bring you certain tools. So, things like, go search and fetch things from Uno Platform documentation. Go fetch things about, how to build and start new apps. So you have those. And all of them come with some predefined prompts. Or there are some, more advanced MCP tools, like, that things that it can do. So these are, again, still the docs, so search and fetch, but then you can get into some of the app MCPs. So this is running local, so nothing in the cloud. And all it does is it has a deep context of the things that your app is, working with. So runtime info about the app. So can I get a screenshot for my app? Can you actually go ahead and click on that button in my app? Can you do a key press? Can you type some text? Can you take a visual snapshot? So all of those things are tools that whichever AI agent that you're using, they already have access to it. And so AI stops guessing, and it can see that it has all of these, Uno Platform tools that it can go ahead and use. So back in my VS Code, if I tap on this, settings button here, you will see that these are all of my MCP tools. I have my GitHub and Azure or whatever else that you might have. But down here is my Uno ones, right? So Uno Platform tools, these are some of the agentic, initialization, the docs, and the fetch. And this is App MCP with all of those, interactive pieces where it can see and it can do things on your app. So they're all wired up, and they're right here, ready for the AI to use. So if I do ask a question like, what Uno Platform tools do you have access to? And again, mileage with AI, varies, but you can see what it's trying to do. It's going to, do a quick search and say, hey, look, I have all of these tools at my disposal. I can call them. And agents are smart. Sometimes they will try to do things themselves, but you can also force it. You can say, hash MCP Uno, go, make sure you, fire off this MCP tool before you start doing what it's doing. So here it's saying, hey, I have like 4 or 5 tools here for documentation. I have, another 10 or so for app dev. And so I can do all of those things. I can search your docs. I can fetch full tutorials. I can validate app behavior. I can automate UI generation, and so on and so forth. So what can you do with all of this stuff? So let's go back in here, and I want to show you a couple of things, and then I will give it to Matt for actually showing you some really fun things that you can do. So just to kind of give you an example, here I am asking, like, can you use Uno Platform Docs to explain what MVUX is, right? So if you ask that question to any AI agent, and again, we have examples of this in our docs. So I had it open here, prompting in your app. So lots of examples here, but you can do your own. So once you have your empty app running, you can say, you know what, AI, go ahead and add a button and a text block in my app. And make sure when you click on the button, I can show you the current date. So stuff like this. So you can, fire away any of these commands. Here, I'm just saying, can you look up the docs to say, what is MVUX? And it says, yep, let me do a doc search. And then it finds a few pages, and then it says, okay, let me go fetch those pages. And then, by the way, here is MVUX. So here's the definition, here's the core idea, key components, and so on. Now, what can you actually do when your AI has these context-aware tools? So let's go take a look at this one here that I was just trying to, play around. So I said, so I had a main page, which is just an empty page with the hello world. And I said, can you change up this main page to create, let's say your app is trying to capture some credit card details from the user. Can you add some appropriate input fields? And it says, yeah, let me go ahead and try doing that for you. And it added all of this. So in my main page, it added some stack panels and some text blocks and some drop downs. And it added a little bit of validation here in the code behind. that says, things need to be pre-filled. So if I ran this now on desktop, let's go try this again. So again, this is where we are quote unquote coding, like vibe coding, because like I'm not actually writing the code. I'm letting AI take the first step. All right, so again, without going into anything else, you see that I didn't write a single line of code, but it comes back with a fairly decent, UI, component that says, here's your credit card, capturing screen. It comes up with some, sample placeholders, and it has some validations built in. If you don't like anything in here, I can hit Hot Design, and now I am in the Hot Design window. And again, the same things. I can go into design mode, and I can say I want to, either navigate, or I can choose individual elements, and then I have them in my visual tree, and I can change their properties, as I go. So I can iterate, while I'm going. So like 15 minutes left. Matt, do you want to show things? Because you have built some really cool things. I've been just looking at Matt's social to see some really fancy things. But I'll come back and maybe show a couple of more simple prompts that you can do. But Matt, do you want to show things?
Sure. Thanks for setting up the foundation there, Sam. Let me go ahead and switch the screen.
Yeah, share your screen.
All right. Oh, wait.
Yeah, I see you.
All right. I'm still seeing yours, but that's all right. I'll take your word for it. So,
yeah. Hold on for 1 second. Let me stop sharing. And there, now we are seeing yours.
Much better. All right. So, so thanks again, Sam. So yeah, we'll go through a couple builds that I've done with Uno MCPs and Uno AI, and we'll put our money where our mouth is and do one on the spot and see what we can see what we can whip up. So starting with we'll go the first one, which was a design inspired over here. It was the thermostat that we came across on Twitter, and with Uno. So I'll give you guys my workflow and how I went about it, but there's no right or wrong answer here on how you work with AI. I think we all have different workflows. So here I'm showing you the end product, which, if you want to put it side by side.
That's pretty darn close.
It's pretty darn close. Yeah, and it's fully interactive. It's not just a static UI you're seeing. It's functional. So for what I like to do, and we're not going to go through this one, but my flow is finding, it also depends on how you're starting, right? Are you starting from an image? Are you starting from an idea? Are you building on top of an existing project? So this one was starting from blank, and what I like to do was I take the UI through, any of the LLMs. I prefer Claude at the moment, and I'll ask it for a description of the UI, and from there I will go ahead and get a detailed generic description of the UI, not tied to any framework or language, and then I'll pass that through the MCPs to create a project scope that essentially attaches or creates a project with Uno components, using the Uno toolkit, Uno extensions, all Uno best practices. And I take that project scope and then we move to the build. So it's almost like a 3-step progress, but for me it works, and I find I get a good result off the bat, which we can then go and iterate over, manually with code or, through more prompt iterations. So just before we jumped on screen, so this is our thermostat, but just before jumping on screen, I also came across another one, which was this Zara app that I found on LinkedIn, and I thought myself, .NET MAUI can do it, then Uno platform can do it. So I went ahead and the same process, and I can show you this one. I have it kind of handy.
So, Matt, before you go
Yeah,
in, I see some of our good friends in chat. So I'm going to answer a quick
yeah,
question
go
here.
for it, go for it.
This is Hector Perez. Hey, Hector, good to see you, my friend. So the question is, does this UI use Skia? So it is a choice. So in the Uno platform app, you get to say, especially if it's iOS or Android, you can go back and say, no, just use native UI. And then it's going to go and use native UI as it is meant on iOS or Android. And it looks a little different, but by default, yes, it is Skia, because that's where our comfort is. That's where the performance is. So it is Skia by default, but you can change it back to native.
Thank you for that, Sam. So going through, so my for this flow, building the Zara app, I took 2 screenshots, of what was available on LinkedIn. I put it in Claude Code here, and but basically I asked it for a detailed description of the UI, which it kind of broke down here. So there were 2 screens. We went with screen 1 over here, and it kind of just gave me a full, very detailed breakdown of what that UI looks like. Here's screen 2, and then I moved on.
This is so mean, Matt. Like, I spent so much of trying creating a Hello World empty app, and you're like, here's a screenshot. Can you make it look like this?
That's the power of Uno platform AI. It's not. It's those engineers on the team. They're just doing great work. Building some really powerful software. So this was the description that I got, and right now I'm in Claude Code, so I'm working out of the CLI. So what I did, and we're not going to be able to see most of my conversation here, but I essentially ran it through. Well, we're not going to see it here, but I ran it through the CLI, and I asked it to essentially just 1 second. Sorry, I'm just gonna give you the real words. I don't want to be truthful in my answer. So I asked it, I basically told it, I said, use the Uno MCP and the Uno AppCP to create a detailed implementation brief for building this Zara screen with Uno platform. So I said, I'll provide the description. Your job is to scope how to build a pixel perfect Uno platform app, recommend the right Uno platform components and patterns, and then apply those best practices throughout the application.
Yeah,
that's
so
all I did.
That is actually key. So your prompt was very good, because you are asking the AI agent to say, make sure you're using some MCP tools, you clearly have them, and then don't just like randomly give us any UI. Give us the Uno platform UI that is most appropriate for that design. So it does some selection in there, goes through the docs and figures out the right UI.
Absolutely, and we'll be sharing some of those best practice prompts as we go. But I think it's all in trying to see what works for you, what works for that application. Every app will have different requirements, and I think how you prompt and what those requirements are will all affect that end result, and that was, of course, that first result. So that being said, that was step 2, right? So step 1 was just getting a detailed description of a UI from a screen grab, or from essentially what could be a Figma design if you're working with Figma designers. I took that detailed description and ran it through the Uno MCP essentially to get a good project scope. And then I just asked it to implement that project. And this was the result.
Ah, look at that.
So again, not a static UI, partially functional to the extent I asked it to go, right? So all these buttons are interactive, though they don't lead anywhere because I didn't set up navigation yet. I have what I'll do here is, sorry, I will pull up the UI so we can compare right here. Oh, sorry. Struggling with 2 screens here. I'm sorry. All right.
There we go.
Put it on the side. Here we go. So, this is just was the description for the first screen. So this is what they had here, right? It's like a 4-category apparel, and then a horizontal scrolling for the next categories. So if I did, if I close it out, you'd see that you can scroll. Oh, I'm putting on a spot here, but this one. Oh, all right, I'm losing it, but the sizing got implemented properly, right? So just like in the app, you don't see it here, but there's a little plus sign at the bottom of every product that lets you select size, and I included that in my project scope, so that was there, got implemented properly.
Nice. Yeah, I
And
like the card view, and I like the little things at the bottom, like exactly what the app has.
it basically gave me what I asked, and by no means do we think you're running with that first iteration, but it's a great starting point, a great launching pad if for whatever app you need to build, just scaffolds you to an area that would take you normally quite a lot more time to get to if you were just writing code by hand. So that was the Zara app.
And actually, Matt, if you can bring the app back one time, like
no
even
problem.
while you're doing all of that, like you had your hot reload and hot design surface connected right there.
Yes.
So
I can just go and make changes to those components
on the fly, because like again, like this is AI taking a first stab at it. If you want to fine tune something, tweak something, go at it here, because you have the entire design here.
You could go right into the user controls, make edits on the fly, and just exit your app, and whatever changes you made will propagate, and can continue where you left off.
Good stuff. Our friend Hector says, "Yeah, fun examples, because the world is our oyster, right? Pick your favorite app, right, and just give it the screenshot and say, make it look like this."
And so now I have a blank application here, or a recommended template that you get with Uno, and I also have an image here which will pop up. So in the spirit of the contest and kind of giving everyone a little bit of a head start, we're gonna use a coffee shop example, and we're gonna run through the same process I did earlier, and let's see what we come up with. So this was my UI. I basically will pull up Claude here.
Is this a random coffee shop, or like
this is a random coffee shop? A credit, I will give credit. It is from a Dribble design that I will credit after this prompt here. But so yeah, essentially I did was just give me a detailed description of the UI in the attached image. That includes, I think as detailed as you can be, you'll always do better, or always get better results. So I was, colors, themes, layouts, and behavior, etc. And then let's add our image to our prompt.
So Matt, actually, before you fire it off, or you already have fired it off. That's fine. That's fine.
Talk through, because we'll have to wait while it goes.
So while it's doing it, so you are using a Sonnet model, which is good. And look at it. It's looking at primary colors and brushes and typography and styles. This is really fun. I don't use Claude Code as much, but I'm guessing it's a similar setup. Like, does it show you the MCP tools that it's using anywhere?
It does. So I don't have it connected in Claude Code. I have it connected in in Claude Desktop. I have it connected with Claude CLI. So in Claude CLI, same. We have it in the docs.
If you don't mind pulling up the docs, because we make it very clear.
Yeah, we won't leave anything to guessing here. So if you go to setup Claude Code right here, once you pass your Uno check and all that, it's easy. Two commands in Claude Code.
Yeah,
it does the work to get it set up, and then you're good to go.
Slight differences, VS Code or others will pick it up automatically, but this one, like, you just have to run one more thing to tie up, the AI agent to those MCP tools.
That's right. So now that we have our the description, let me just go get. Coffee shop.
While you're doing that, I'm going to
Yes.
try answering a question here from our friend Hector. So, any recommendation on what model to use that works best with our MCP server? So this is tricky to recommend because again, it depends on exactly what we are trying to do. I would say, Hector, like the kind of things that Matt is doing here, where you're asking it to look at a screenshot and get all the UI and UX things out, like look at the fonts, look at the colors. So that involves a little bit of a deeper thinking. I find, and again, like experiences might vary. I find that if you give a lot of guardrails, the GPT models are quicker, but the Sonnet models will do the thinking for you without a lot of guardrails. So, like at least to get started, like look at this screenshot and make me an app that looks like this. I feel you might be better off with a Haiku or a Sonnet, but that's up to you. And again, like we know enterprises who are maybe sensitive to having using these cloud AI models. So if you want to bring your own AI model and that understands some natural language processing, that's fine too. So I mean, there's no guarantee in any of this stuff with AI models, but choose what works best for you.
That's right, Sam. And if anyone, I mean, and to kind of build on that, the two examples that I showed previously, both the thermostat and Zara, were both done with Claude, for whatever that's worth. We did our UI description, and now we're going to run the description through the Uno MCP to basically create a project scope that will tie all those UI components to Uno platform components, best practices, patterns, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and just, like I said before, was the same prompt. It worked well, so we're going to try it again. Use the Uno MCP, Uno FCP to create a detailed implementation of this coffee shop, and then I'll go get my UI UI, and I will get it.
And for folks tuning in, like I know we said an hour, but this is enticing stuff. So give us another 10 minutes, and we'll wrap up.
Yes. Thank you, Sam.
There, it's running those MCP calls, as you can see.
Now I'm just gonna go double check. Oh, that's not. Let's pause it here, and if it's not.
Yeah, it looks like it's not finding something.
Yeah, so let's go back and. And like we said, right, it's happening live. Let's see, I'll give it the right one.
I have seen, Matt and me just came back from a big conference, and it's always funny when on a tech conference the Wi-Fi goes down and then none of your demos that talk to the cloud work. So I have actually seen a lot of people roll with pre-recorded stuff because AI stuff can be hard to predict exactly what it does. Each run is different, and that's the creativity part of it. But this is live, and this is fun. This is what you all might be experiencing as you build up apps for this challenge.
All right, it looks like I just had to re-register my MCPs. Something to note, I had it done earlier, but we're doing it again. So now we can go and try that again. So now try the.
I have even like gone to the extent, Matt, of because like you can stack the AI window, the chat window, to one corner of your screen. Like I have gotten so lazy, like I don't even hit F5.
Yeah,
I just say run the app, like everything through AI. Because why not?
yeah. So, and now while this builds us, I'm just gonna put this guy over here, and we'll open up our coffee shop app.
So is it
There we
thinking
go.
and just like
No,
scaffolding a whole project?
it was making sure it was connected to the MCPs before I think it starts going through the actual process of creating the project brief, which we're going to use to scaffold the app.
So you have an interesting thing going because you are using VS Code, which is where I am at as well, but you are not using Copilot.
I'm only not using Copilot because I've seemed to have maxed out my my usage on Copilot, and
Yeah.
I'm forced to GPT 4.1 right now, and it is not giving the results you want.
Yeah. So
Nothing like 5 and Claude Code. So
right. So compared
the other
to
ones were done. The the Zara and the Thermostat were both done with
okay.
Copilot
Yeah.
and Claude Code,
Yeah.
or Claude Code within Copilot.
So to the last question from Hector. So yeah, the choice of model does have a big impact. So the newer, better models that you use obviously will work better, faster.
And I got this before too. It gives you a and I've been doing so many things now. I'm not quite sure if it's me having set rules at this point, but because I'm pretty sure I did in Cloud Code. I in my prompts I always tell it, or as a rule in my environment, I told it to always ask questions based on my prompt, especially when I'm trying to create something like this. And so basically, if it has unanswered questions before starting the project, it'll list them, and we'll see that in the last step here when it documents unresolved questions. So in the Zara one, it asked me if I wanted localization and navigation and a whole host of other questions. But obviously for the sample app, I didn't need that, but it helps you kind of prepare if probably if in case you don't cover everything in that first prompt.
Yeah, and a lot of these things can now be provided as guardrails. So I'm used to using like a Copilot instruction file. So it's a markdown file where you can say like, and it carries that context between every interaction that you have with the AI agent is like, make sure your variables are named this way. Make sure you always ask for localization. Make sure you're just providing all of the guardrails, and then AI prompts you for all the things. All right, so it's creating the app and it's creating a comprehensive brief. Has it, created the app yet, or is it working on the UI?
No, it's not working on either right now. It's like I mentioned, it creates a brief, which is essentially just a second prompt, if you will, with all your details
All the
answered.
actions. Yeah.
Uh,
So, oh,
yeah.
there you
So
go.
here's yeah.
So Copilot, I think, calls it like to-do list. Like it's the plan for what it's about to do.
Right. So it's asking if we want device GPS and push notifications, and of course for all of these, a lot of these are not necessary for our sample app, but you can see it also created this detailed brief with everything you could imagine for each platform. So what we can do at this point is I'll just say no to all of the questions and create the markdown brief. And you can see actually it's already here. So I actually didn't even need to ask it to create it. But so here you have it, essentially what it thinks will best, create that pixel perfect clone of the app we gave it. And then you can go in here and you can, I would implore you to go through it and, make sure it touches on, or covers everything you want, or gives you the right information. I wouldn't take it for granted, but you get, right. See, I don't want to use Uno Platform 5. We're definitely using 6. I can even be more detailed. Right now we're on 6.4, which is latest stable. We're not on .NET 8. And I'm just gonna stop the implementation brief here. And then, so now that we have that, following the same process I was doing, I would say, or actually there's one thing I want to do because I know I'm not, I would put, use the brief to create or to implement the project scope. And I'm not set up for iOS right now, macOS, and I saw it in the brief somewhere. So yeah, I would just say,
like only do desktop.
Yeah, that'd probably be more succinct. Only set our own target. So take a quick moment, quick little bit. So we can talk through while it does its thing.
We're 10 minutes over, so we want to be appreciative of people's time. So let's do another 2 minutes, and then we'll try to wrap up.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, go ahead.
It's what comes with doing it live, right? So we don't have the power of speeding up by 2, like a recording.
Let's while you're doing this, I'm just going to go back to my screen for just a second.
Yes, sir.
Just to kind of show the prompts we had one more time. And I don't know if it takes over my screen. Yeah, it took over your screen. So we'll come back to your screen in just a second. So just to remind people, what Matt did here pretty much gets you the first prompt right there. So pick your favorite coffee shop, look at the screenshots, and work with AI to create an Uno Platform app that gives you that first screen, which is engaging. So, that's your first prompt right there. And for each of these prompts, like go through the submission template. So there are certain things we're asking, especially if you are getting into the hot design stuff and you're talking to the AI, hot design agent, and you're iterating. We would love to see a screenshot of you doing that. We would love to see maybe an image or a quick recording of you doing that, because that's what this second and third prompts are. So pretty much what you saw Matt do. You just take a screenshot of what you or how you're iterating on the designs, and that's kind of what we want to see. What were your prompts, and what were some things you were doing? Here is a listing of a lot of the public APIs, because we don't care about what data it is. So this is just a listing of like a dozen or more, actually a lot more than a dozen here, it looks like, just free public APIs and data on everything from Star Wars to sports to retail, you name it. It's all out there and it's all public. So choose your data. And let's just say I just did an app or just a while back where, here, actually, let me pull that up on my socials, where I just said, I want to create an app which shows a list of blog posts from our blogs engine. So it came back and it says, hey, look at this blog feed that I'm looking at. Here are some images. I see some headers, and these are the blog posts. And then I said, can you actually go and fetch the blog posts and make me an app that does exactly that? And it did so. So again, like the choice of data here does not matter. So bring whatever it is that you want, but we would love to see those screenshots and you actually iterating on it while you're working on things. All right, so that's the whole gig here. You folks go have fun building these apps. Matt, are you feeling like bringing your screen back one more time?
Yeah, bring it. Let's bring it back, and we'll keep it going. So we have something to show in the recording. Just so there's no fluff here. We'll show the end result. Hopefully, some can stay with us, and for the rest, we'll be sharing the recording.
Yeah. I have to bring my screen down, but actually, let's for the dev folks, if you want to stay on, that's totally fine with us. We will circle back and make sure Matt's project is set up. But if you want to leave us here, that's cool. But just understand that this challenge is up and running. You have until December 7th to go bring those submissions. We cannot wait to see all the cool things you folks build with Uno platform and our AI tooling. Just have fun with it. That's all we care. Just have fun, show us your creativity, show us something wow, and hopefully you're on your way with some cold hard cash before the holidays, right? So go have fun, and that's all we ask. All right. So with that, let's see. I'm going to close down my screen here. Hector, thank you for that comment. Yeah,
we're looking forward to it, Hector.
Yeah. So again, it's an opportunity. It's an excuse to try a new stack. This is .NET cross-platform, so just give it a shot. Is all we ask. And Matt, how long do we want to go and wait on this?
We're gonna let it go. It shouldn't be too much longer. We got 3 steps left out of 11, so we're the bulk of the way there. And I just like to remind everyone too, while we're at it, Sam, we have a Uno platform Discord server. So if you're taking part and running into any issues at setup or at prompting, or in general, or just want to share what you have, please join us in the Discord. We got a very welcoming community. A lot of helpful hands, and the core team is there too to help out when they can. So come on and join us there too.
I am going to try posting that link. Where is it?
Maybe I should have taken a bit of a more simple screen, but it's doing work. It's doing work. So this might just show off.
Doing the whole challenge right there. And hold
it's all right, folks. I can't participate, so
you are not eligible, my friend. All right. So
I will be selling this project on the side for half the prize money.
There you go. Oh boy. So here's the Discord link that Matt mentioned. So come and join us and hang with us there. And it might be a nice collaborative way as you are building things to see what others are building. And if you want us to maybe nudge you a little bit in the right direction, like you're stuck on certain things and you just want to know how to get around it. Yes, you have all of the docs now as an MCP, but sometimes it helps with another pair of eyes. We are here to help.
All right.
It's creating the homepage. Can we just see the homepage, if at all? It does so. It is actually registering the shell, so you do need that shell wiring coming from appsdemo.cs.
If we were on stream, it'd be a great time to grab a coffee, work on another project. That's where the productivity comes in. You have more than 2 hands now.
It's like a real pair programmer buddy where they're doing things while you are doing yours.
That's it. One you can trust.
Yeah. And it's interesting that it chose MBUX to start with, or maybe you just had it in your prompt.
Well, I mean, I didn't. I told it to take the best pattern or make the choices. So we shall see. And you can see it. It's coming along. All right, almost there.
Can you run the app, or you have to wait until the wiring finishes?
I mean, I would have to say we'll probably have to wait till it finishes, but
Yeah, it's like I don't have
let's
the
get,
walk-in to run it yet.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you are really making AI think a lot from, you know, it's a big brief and it's now trying to implement every single part of that.
Yeah, we gotta wait for the for it to finish.
Right.
It'll verify for us first.
Oh, it is at the last step. Build the project and verify compilation. Oh, looks like it is. No, it's trying to just ask you to.
Yeah, approve.
I wonder, Matt, if you know how in AI agents, like especially in Copilot, where you can add files, right, for context. In fact, I can give this a shot right away. Like, what if you added a screenshot right inside of Copilot, while it's actually already on a certain page, and you could say like make tweak the UI to make the buttons or lists look like this. Matt, are you still here? Uh-oh, Matt's camera or screen or both may have frozen. Yeah, Matt looks frozen. All right, so he dropped off. Let's give him one more second here to come back, because he really wanted to show what AI has spun up and built. In the meantime, let me see if I can go back and share my screen back. And then we'll give Matt another minute. If he doesn't come back, that's fine. You know where to start. So let's go back to the app that I was just building. And I think we had called it Uno Dev. It was empty. So let's see if let's do desktop. Let's see if I can churn our way with certain things here. I wonder if it can do this. So I also had a coffee shop app that I was waiting to. Where was it? No, that's downloads. Yeah, this was a Starbucks app. I don't know if it will actually do it, but let's see if it lets me. Files. No. Go back. Screenshot window. Yeah, I have to figure out like how I actually give this the screenshot, because it doesn't quite know. Yeah, I'm trying to give it that screenshot, which I don't know how to exactly drag that in. Let's see. So, oh, there, I could drag it like in there like that. Let's just fire away. Can you change main page to look like a coffee shop app as in the screenshot. This is a hard problem because I just randomly gave it a screenshot with two things. And it's trying. It's updating. It's patching up main page. And here's the plan that Copilot came back with. It's working. It's got a couple of to-dos. It says I'll replace the page with a responsive layout and several sample product cards. Okay. We'll give Copilot a minute here to catch up. And it's about to create headers, search categories, horizontal product cards, bottom nav. Yeah, I like all of the sound of all of that. It's working away. AI working hard. There, now it's about to start making changes. So it took away the basic text block that I had that said hello, Uno platform. Now it looks like it's adding some grids with borders, text block, and stack panels for search, category chips, product scroller. Yeah, that looks nice. Let's just give it a shot. I'm going to keep all of that, right? Whatever AI came back with. And let's see if I can run the same app. And it's got some errors because it doesn't know how to do certain things. So let's see what the errors are. Oh, initialize context. Can't you fix that? Can you fix the errors run on desktop? Verifying that XAML compiles. Yep, allow run for build desktop. And it's still got some errors. And let's see if it goes and reads the errors back at inspecting build errors. Yep. Yep, fix them, please. It may have been just like partial classes that it's, failing to compile and marry up. .NET build, yeah, that's fine. Still errors. But it took a good stab, so now it's fixing XAML errors. Oh, there was an invalid null character. Oh, I see. That's why. We have your favorites ready. That's why. Okay. So there were some weird characters that it threw in the XAML. And there are more errors. Go fix them. Yeah, I'm facing some errors. Yep, take out the shadows. Yes, do it again. I feel like it's something else. It's like the initialized component that's breaking. It's working away. Yay, finally, success. The build is good. it's going to run the app to visually check. What is that export? I don't know what that export is. Let's just run the app. Oh, there you go. So we have kind of a basic app here, but it's something, right? So it's got the good morning me, and then it's got the favorites ready, and it's got a couple of things here at the bottom, add to cart, and it's got a few coffee things in here you can trim down. I don't think like the links work, but it's a start, right? So bring your, and it's got some things here for location and then so on. So I'm sure this will look better actually on mobile devices than it is on desktop, but it's a start. It's a scroller, it's got a search, it's a start. Okay, so folks, that's about it. Again, I'm going to go back to what we started out doing, and let's bring back the new window one more time. And this is the Dev2 challenge, right? So this is me speaking inside of a window, but essentially if you head over to Dev2 right now, you're going to see the AI challenge for cross-platform apps. We would love to see what you build with it. You got 3 weeks to do something. Matt, you're back, and I was just about to hop off. Shall I add you back? Because I was also trying. I'm trying to see. Matt, do you want to be added back on? Just to say hi. You're on screen, but I did a quick thing here as well. Like I let Copilot take a stab, and it did something that's looks like a coffee shop app, especially on mobile. It gave me like a carousel, a scroll view, and a search on top. You can add the favorite drink. So it's a start. This is all AI just trying to give you a starting point. So I was just pointing people back to the challenge again. So come and join us. We would love to see what you build.
Yep. Sorry for throwing you under there, Sam. My computer crash couldn't handle all that power. Couldn't handle all that power, but
yeah. I mean, you are doing a lot. You are doing AI plus you're streaming. Yeah.
But I did make a rookie mistake and I selected .NET 10 for that project creation, and I have not even
you don't
downloaded
have
.NET 10 installed.
Yeah.
So what we will do is I will
post it on the socials.
I'm gonna redo the exact same flow, no smokes and mirrors, and we'll go through it again. And this time it'll be recorded, so you can skip right to the end, and
there you go.
Wait.
All right, folks, we have kept you for way too long. Like we were supposed to be an hour, but clearly we are having fun and we're just trying different things. But come and join us for the challenge. So that's all there is to ask. So hope you have fun building stuff and show us your submissions, and we'll quickly do some judging and get you folks going with some nice prizes. And to all of the dev folks who are here, we are super delighted to be here with you, launch our first challenge. And to all of the dev, folks or organizers who run the community, thank you for all that you do. And that's it. That's it from us. And let's all have fun. And we will see you on another stream, more on Discord, more on dev. And that's it from us.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Sam and Matt, signing off. Thank you, folks. Bye.